So I'm trying to place reminders. Trying to place reminders. We are sending reminders to people that should be here. Okay, we're sending reminders. We're sending reminders.
So only both of us are here, ma. Can we start? Should we just start? But then I'm of the opinion that we should remind people. Okay, can you hear me clearly, ma? Can you hear me? If you can hear me, you can just put it in the comments that you can hear me. Okay, I welcome you all to another edition of DMM, the 11th edition since we started. So if you can hear me, kindly put it in the comments that you can hear me. I want to get our responses. Just let me know, let me know, let me know, let me know. Okay, I'm not seeing anything in the chat box. If you can hear me clearly, because I presume there were assholes with it. The other time I was on the call, I presume there were hassles like in hearing me. I wasn't so clear. So I want to know if you can hear me clearly now. Hear me, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay. So we'll start. We usually would hold DMM because we usually hold DMM because we realize that in this fast-paced world and the 21st century, almost everything that we need to do, to get better at business, to get better personal selves, personally, brand-wise, everything is connected online. And we must learn how to sell our brands, to be able to sell well. To be able to sell our services, we must know how to sell our brands well. And that's why we started, the House of Wisdom started the digital marketing mastery program every month. It holds every month, once in a month, and it usually holds on Sundays for the convenience of everyone. You know, a lot of people go to work, they go to their places of assignment, schools, and all of that during the week. So Sundays is like a resting day for many of us. It would have been Saturday, but for on Saturdays we usually would have engagements here and there. And so it's for your convenience that this program was fixed on Sunday. And so let us thank God. Let's thank God for His faithfulness. Let's thank Him because He made it possible for us to see another edition of DMM. We are grateful for our speakers that agreed to be here. We are grateful for direction. We are grateful for enablement, because it's not easy when it comes to program planning, but God has made it possible for this day to come. We are grateful, Lord. We appreciate you. We say, be glorified, be adored. Be glorified, be adored. Thank you, blessed Redeemer. For in Jesus' mighty name I pray. Amen. And so, our Father, our Lord, we ask that all our gadgets, from network to our phones, we pray that none malfunctions, everything working, everything sets in place and it works as it should, in the name of Jesus. Thank you, Lord, for in Jesus' name we've prayed. Amen. All right, thank you everyone. You're just joining, I celebrate you greatly. A lot of us here, we're not on Zoom, but we're streaming live on YouTube. If you're streaming live on YouTube, just put it in the live chat section that you are streaming and tell us where you're streaming from. But if you're here on Zoom, you can also tell us where you're streaming from. And so we are now on item 3. Item 3 is unlocking the power of storytelling for your personal brand by Margaret Etudo. But she has reached out to us before now that we permit her to be about 10 minutes late. And so because Sir Precious Hobo is here, it would go first, so that when Miss Margaret comes later, she can do our whole session. This is so that we keep ourselves engaged and we don't get all tired out, especially those that are streaming on YouTube. There can be a lot of distractions and you just want to go somewhere else. And so instead of keeping us all waiting, Sir Precious Hobo will be teaching us how to win the LinkedIn game and how to grab clients for her businesses. He's going to be having 30 minutes for talk and 5 minutes for questions. But before I call him in, it's important for me to know who it is that will be teaching us. I mean, it's important that we know our speaker, what he's doing, and so that we can know what to expect. A lot of us usually would underestimate our speakers. Yeah, that's it's not like it's a deliberate something, but we just would want to. We don't know what to expect since we've not been under his teaching before. A lot of us don't know it on LinkedIn. We don't know him on LinkedIn. Please pardon my voice. There's a cold here in Jos, and so it's not deliberate that my voice is sounding this way. All right, Precious Obo. Sir Precious was introduced to the founder of House of Wisdom by Miss Blessing Kolapo, and we are so grateful that he said yes to our invite. And here are excerpts of the short chat that our founder had with him. So Sir Precious is a 300 level electronics engineering, let me not put and, is electronics engineering student at ABU. He's a digital marketing strategist, a sales and marketing coach, and a LinkedIn influencer. His online journey began around 18 months ago. He felt the pressure of becoming independent, especially after losing his dad in his first year at school, which made things financially tough. He started with affiliate marketing and dived deep into digital marketing, acquiring various related skills along the way. On LinkedIn, he has been active for just 5 months, but he has seen remarkable growth thanks to his knowledge of social media marketing. LinkedIn may seem like a professional job app to some people, and he also thought the same initially. However, LinkedIn is more than that. LinkedIn is the land of opportunities. He believes that it is a platform every entrepreneur and tech enthusiast should build their brand on. The best advice Sir Precious received as a young adult was to start building his brand on LinkedIn. With a well-optimized profile on LinkedIn, it can serve as your CV while you search for jobs. There's a wealth of remote and on-site job opportunities daily. What he values most about LinkedIn is the supportive creator community. Building a brand on LinkedIn right now presents countless opportunities as it is an underutilized space for many. So, what is his advice to young adults before he takes on the mic this evening? Is to invest in yourself, learn valuable skills, and understand that our government might not provide everything. With Nigeria's high unemployment rate, over 41% now, it's clear that education is not enough, but having a backup plan like learning high income skills is essential. There is so much more you can do online beyond leisure. Your future is in your hands. And so we'll be calling on Sir Precious to teach us how to win the LinkedIn game and grab clients for your businesses. Let me just see if you're watching on YouTube. I want you to celebrate Sir Precious in the comments. If you're on Zoom, celebrate him as well in the comments. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Sir Precious.
Okay, thank you so much for the introduction. That was a long one. Please let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm not sure if I can view. So how
Yeah,
do
we
I
can
know?
hear you. Continue.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for this opportunity. That was a long introduction. Anyways, hello everyone, and it's really good to be here. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. And we have been hearing, like, I've been hearing a lot about your events, more like most of the things you do on YouTube, and I am very honored to be here. Thank you so much. Okay, so guys, I'm excited to speak to you about a platform that has transformed the way professionals connect and do business. And like the lady said, she said more like it's called LinkedIn. Okay, so that was, I don't have to do any introduction anymore because now she has said basically more like a direct summary of who I am. Okay, but for most people that don't know me, I'm a digital marketing strategist, sales coach, and a LinkedIn influencer. Okay, so now I just want you to understand that I've been on LinkedIn for a while now, and aside building on LinkedIn, I've actually built my brand on other social media platforms, like on Facebook. Okay, I think I have about 5,000 followers over there. But why I chose LinkedIn, okay? Why I chose LinkedIn now, I must tell you that LinkedIn is a gold mine, okay? It's a gold mine. And in fact, it's a wall of opportunities, like for both big and small businesses. You understand? So if you are on LinkedIn, you really need to start taking it seriously. And if you're not on LinkedIn, you should consider getting started on it. Okay. Anyways, so I was told I was given 30 minutes. So I'm going to make this very quick and make sure you all get value. Anyways, today I'll guide you through the art of winning the LinkedIn game and attracting clients for your business and services. So I know everyone is excited. Me, I'm excited too. I would love to see some energy. Let me get to know if you all are with me. Let me see some energy in the comment section, or maybe you could just use reactions. I think that would be a lot better. Yeah, that should be a lot better. Okay, I see you, Austin. Thank you so much. Well, anyways, we don't really have a large number, but let's carry on. Let's carry on. So yeah. Now if you have any question at the end of this session, okay, you can just write it down. Then it will be attended to. I think I have about 5 minutes for that. Okay. And normally I usually give my listeners a preamble of what we would be treating during the session. But because of time, we'll have to skip that. Okay. So first off, why LinkedIn? Why build your brand on LinkedIn? And why is LinkedIn a game changer for your business? So now, here's it now. Before now, lots of people have seen LinkedIn as more like a platform for job seekers virtually. So even now, I know most people still see LinkedIn for that purpose. Like you see LinkedIn that, okay, it's just more like a platform where if you're looking for a job, you just go there, create your profile, then write about what you do, and that's it. Okay. Well, lots of people has that mentality. But over time, I want you to understand that, okay, LinkedIn has changed. It's not just more like a virtual resume anymore, more like it's a platform to showcase your skills. You also get to engage with a network of professionals and also find potential clients, which of course is the juiciest part. Okay. So, anyways, beyond creating an account on LinkedIn, there are things that you have to do in order to stand out on LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm going to give you a few lists of the things that you should do. Okay, first off is you have to set off goals. Okay, set your goals right. Okay, then you have to optimize your profile for visibility and also make meaningful connections. I'm just going to give you a list, but I'm going to explain. I'm going to talk more on these things as we proceed. Okay. So we also have to understand that you are going to be creating valuable content and also work more with personalized messages. It's just like every other social media platform. If you're building your brand on any of those platforms, you know that you're going to be creating content related to your target audience. And those kinds of content should be more about helping your target audience solve a particular problem. So in one word, I usually call it more like creating problem solving content. Okay. So I'll use the next 20 minutes to speak more on this. God help me, because the time is really short. I'm so sorry if I'm going to be very fast, but I'm just trying to meet up with time. Okay, so now the first thing here is identify your goals. And this is something that a lot of people don't really get well. Now, you should understand that once you're starting off something, you must have a goal. And, having that mindset, it's going to more like put you on track. You understand? So that you won't actually be confused about what you're doing. You must have goals. Why are you building on LinkedIn? What exactly do you want from LinkedIn? Do you understand? Now, many people feel like this. So you just have to it's not just about you opening LinkedIn and start posting stuffs without having a goal. Okay. So now some other people may even have goals, but the thing is, those goals, they are not smart. Okay. That's why they haven't gained clarity. You see someone came on LinkedIn. I've had cases of people telling me, okay, they started out their brand building on LinkedIn about 5 months ago, or let's say 6 months ago or 7 months ago, but yet they don't even understand what they're doing on the platform. Most of them still have the analogy that, okay, they're coming on LinkedIn because they're looking for jobs strictly. No doubt, you have a service rather, and you're actually looking out for clients, no doubt. But some people will be like, okay, LinkedIn is still more like a place for you to find jobs, strictly for finding jobs. And that's not the kind of mentality you should come up with. Okay. So you must have a goal. And it's not just about having goals. Your goals has to be smart. Okay. Now, what do I mean by it being smart? Now, the smart there is more like an acronym. Okay. So your goals has to be specific, it has to be measurable, it has to be achievable, it has to be relevant, and must have a time frame. Okay. So I'm going to make this very, very practical now, so you understand these things clearly well. But I'm going to be making lots of examples so you understand this whole thing, because you cannot just say you're building your brand on LinkedIn without having a goal. And this particular thing has been the reason why so many people are not having clarity. They haven't found clarity. So I wouldn't want it to be a situation where, okay, you get on LinkedIn, then you start building your brand on LinkedIn, but you don't know what you're doing. Okay, you get to a confused state that, oh God, what am I doing? And those kinds of things would actually cause you to give up before you even get to even reach even half of your journey or destination. Okay, so you have to get this right first. Okay, so let's start off with your goals has to be specific. Okay, so now let's assume a freelancer who gets on LinkedIn, and maybe the person's goal is to just ensure that he keeps on getting a constant flow of gigs or constant flow of clients. Let's say maybe it's a freelancer who is into graphic designing, or probably a freelancer who is a copywriter. Of course, you know that most of those persons, they offer their services to clients, to prospective buyers or potential clients who's going to like pay them for their services. So let's assume someone like that is building his brand on LinkedIn, and his entire goal, his main goal, primary focus of coming on LinkedIn is because he's looking out to get gigs for his services. Now, before then, that particular person already has information, more like he knows how he's good with his skills. He has the skills already. Okay, he's good with graphics designing, he's good with copywriting. Now he wants to now monetize that skill, and he has chosen a platform like LinkedIn, because of course LinkedIn is a gold mine. And I usually tell people that, okay, the kinds of audience you have on LinkedIn are quality compared to many other social media platforms. Okay, well, you should try this and see if you don't really understand. Anyways, yeah. Now, for your goals to be specific, now let's carry on. Let's not move away from this. Now, for your goals to be specific, it simply means that, okay, your goals must be clear and straightforward. Now, let's say this graphic designer who I'm using as an example, okay, maybe his entire goal is to like get a constant flow of gigs, like get gigs continuously, not just once, not just twice. You understand? So now, for him to make his goal smart, first off, is his goal has to be specific. Now, this is what he's going to tell himself. Now, he's going to be like, I will measure my, okay, he's going to be like, I want to secure 10 new freelance gigs in my niche by the end of the month. Now, what has he done? He's not just saying that, okay, he needs his goals. His goals is going to just to get a constant flow of gigs. Now, he's being specific. Now, having specific, like being specific with the kinds of things you do on LinkedIn, you know, it actually makes you to understand that this is what you want to achieve. Okay, you're not just coming on LinkedIn and you don't even know what you're doing. You know, you try to make your goals to be specific. Now, listen to this. I want to secure 10 new freelance gigs in my niche by the end of the month. That's to say that he has a specific goal he wants to reach, and there's a target. I don't know if you understand this. Okay, let me know if I'm not speaking to myself. Please, can you react if you're actually with me? Can you react if you're with me? Thank you so much. Let me get to know if you're still with me. All right, thank you so much, Austin. Okay, good. So the next one, you need to make your goals to be measurable. Okay, you need your goals to be measurable. That's to say that that goal must include a specific criteria for tackling progress. Now, how do you get to know that you're actually making progress? That's the whole idea. Measurable. How do you get to know you're making progress? What are the signs? What are the things that you actually get to accomplish to know that you're actually on track, getting to reach your entire goal, which is a constant flow of gigs? I don't know if you understand what I'm saying, but just move with me, okay? Anyways, so how do you get your goals to measure? Now, this is what the freelancer will tell himself, okay? Will be like, I will measure my progress by tracking the number of new gigs opportunities I secure each week. So remember, he said that to make his goal specific, he said he's going to secure 10 new freelance gigs, okay, by the end of the month. And how will he know that he's making progress? By measuring the amount of gigs he gets per week. Or maybe you could say maybe in 2 weeks or thereabouts. Do you understand? You're not trying to measure your goals. Do you understand? Like this is why I am actually more like saying so much on this, is because this is something I literally have to write down if I want to start and anything for the first time. And I need to be very, very clear on what I am doing. I need to have a goal, so that this is something I'll be looking at every day and be like, okay, yes, this is exactly what I am actually pursuing. Okay, you understand? That will really help you. So you need your goals to be measurable, so you'll be able to get to know if you're making progress or not. Then you know what to tweak. You know that you're supposed to put in more effort. You're supposed to stop doing this particular thing and stuff. Okay, so that's the idea. So another thing here is your goals has to be achievable. You cannot just say, okay, okay, you're starting off as a freelancer on LinkedIn, and let me say, yes, your entire goal is to keep on getting gigs and stuff like that. Now you now say, okay, you now give out a very unrealistic goal. More like you say, I wish, okay, not wish, my goal is to let me say get 100 gigs in 1 month. That is definitely not achievable at your current status. Why? Because you're just starting out. Do you understand? That is not an achievable goal. So for your goals to be achievable, it should be realistic. Okay. Now it should be realistic based on the freelancer skills, or based on your skills, your resources, and time frame that I've actually more like given yourself. Do you understand? Now let me give you an example now. Now, considering, like, this is what the freelancer would say to himself, okay, if he's trying to create smart goals. Okay, it'll be like, considering my current networking and outreach capabilities, securing 10 new gigs in 8 weeks is an achievable target. Now let me make you understand what I just said. Now let's say, let me just take it to someone else. Let's say a copywriter. Okay, of course he's a freelancer too, and you'll be like, okay, is it possible for me, who is starting out, and let me look, considering the amount of connections I have, let me see, I have about 500 followers, I have about 500 connections. Now, with those amount of connections, okay, is it possible for me to hit this goal in that particular time frame I have given? So that's more like you seeing that if it's something that you see it's possible and people have done it, then it is achievable. Okay, not just you creating unrealistic goals. It's not possible. Okay, it won't work that way. You understand? So that is the idea. Okay, another thing here is your goals has to be relevant. Okay, now this is what it simply means. Does your goal, more like your goal should more like align with the freelancer's overall career objective? Now let me explain that. Now remember, the freelancer, his main objective was to what? Get gigs. And of course, getting gigs will actually bring you what? Money. Okay, bring you a constant flow of income. Okay, so here's what's going to ask himself: securing additional freelance gigs is highly relevant to my career goal of increasing my income as a freelancer. So it's actually relevant. It relates to what he wants. It relates, okay, everybody is coming online on various social media platforms because, yes, the government has failed us. Everybody's looking for how they can be employed. Everybody's looking for how they can leverage some social media platforms in order to make money, because the whole entire idea is, okay, you're coming online because you want to make money, and these are the things that you have to do. You want to monetize your skills, and which will entirely bring you money. Okay, so now, how do you get to make that goal that you've set relate with what you want for yourself? Of course, gaining a number of leads, or let's say securing 10 new gigs in 8 weeks, okay, is actually more like relates to your entire goal, and which is your entire goal, which is what is to more like increase your income as a freelancer. Okay, that's it. That if you keep on getting about 10 gigs, that means your income keeps on increasing. And imagine you keep on doing this for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. You understand? Your income would increase. So that's to say that your goals that you've set now relate with what you want to do. Okay, I don't know if you guys are following. I believe you guys are following. So that is the idea, and very importantly, your goals must have a time frame. Okay, very important. Now, your time frame, that's to say, it should have a specific time frame for completion. Okay, now this is just a very simple example that you can give yourself. Now, if I want to get 10 gigs, okay, how long do I want to get? More like, what's the time frame from now to how long? Do you get? So it's something you can actually ask yourself. I aim to secure these 10 new gigs within the next 8 weeks. I aim to secure these 10 new leads within the next 2 months. Do you understand? It's basically more like you've given yourself a time frame. And trust me, if you get to document all these things, write them down on paper, and every day that you keep on coming on online and you're doing your daily activities, you check out your goals to see if you're actually more like on track. This is going to help you a lot. This is going to help you. The reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people are always missing this out. You just come online on a social media platform and you don't have a goal. You don't have a goal. You won't be. In fact, most times you may actually feel that, okay, you're making progress, but you will always reach a particular level where you get stuck. And this is because you do not have a goal. Okay, so that's just it. Okay, that is very important. So that's the first thing. identify your goals. Why are you building on LinkedIn? Some people may actually say, okay, they want to build on LinkedIn because they want to get gigs, they want to get leads for their product. Maybe they're selling a product, it could be a physical product or a digital product. Or probably they're just there to just build their brand. Maybe they want to become an influencer, okay, whereby people get to they get to promote things for people via their content. That's to say that their main focus is on increasing their followers count, increasing the engagement with their content. Do you understand? So that is the idea. You have to have your goals. You have to identify your goals. Do you understand? And it's not just saying it with your mouth and stuff like that. You need to be very intentional with these things, that you even get to write them down. Okay, you get to write those goals down. Okay, so let me not take so much of your time here. So the next thing here is optimize your profile for visibility. Optimize your profile for visibility. This is very, very important. Like, very important. Now, let me make you understand something now. If your profile is not optimized, nobody would want to do business with you. Of course, nobody wants to do business with a novice. So if your profile is not looking like someone who knows what he's doing, they will definitely not reach out to you. They will definitely not want to connect with you. They will definitely not want to accept your connection request. Okay, so it's very, very important for you to optimize your profile. And I'm going to explain how you get to do that. Now, your LinkedIn profile, I want you to see your LinkedIn profile as your digital business card. So you should understand that an incomplete or unprofessional profile can cost you a lot of clients. And not just clients, it will cost you lots of opportunities. It must be well optimized. This is something you should understand. Okay, you need to understand it. It will help you a lot. You need to optimize your profile, and these are things that there are some certain things that you have to do to make sure that your account is well optimized. And how do you get to know that? I'm going to provide you with a few checklists. Okay, so that's to say that if you're starting out your LinkedIn profile, these are the things you should look out for. Okay, so now, if you're just starting out, now the first thing you should do, let me say like today now, let me say you want to create, you just maybe after this call, maybe you now decide, okay, I want to start building my brand on LinkedIn. And this is why I want to build my brand on LinkedIn. You've gotten your goals, you have now created a smart goal. Now, the next thing for you to do is, after you have done your account, you're done with your account. The very first thing for you to do is to turn on your creators mode. Okay, turn on your creators mode. Okay, and this is a feature on LinkedIn that would actually more like make it much more easier for you to gain access to some features, like feature section on LinkedIn. Okay, where it may actually even help your audience to view your followers and the rest of it. So that's just the first thing you should do. Okay, so the next thing here is your profile picture. Now, your profile picture should be high quality and very friendly. You don't just put out any kind of profile picture now, because people don't really know you. You're building your social media, you're building your brand on social media, and it's online, and people don't really know you. They don't know who you are. They want to see you as more like someone who they can trust to do business with. And of course, if you're using anyhow kind of picture, it's not actually communicating more like your expertise to them. Now, if you claim that, okay, you're good at this particular thing, let me see, you're a copywriter, no doubt, you know copywriting well enough, you write good copies that sells and stuff like that. But if you're not using the right picture, okay, people wouldn't really they won't perceive you. Understand? It's basically more like branding. How do you get to brand yourself? Personal branding. Okay, so that's the idea. So your profile picture needs to be clear. And what I usually tell people is this: if you don't have a good picture, more like a very clear picture, it's very simple. You can go to a photo studio and take a portrait picture of yourself. It won't cost you so much. This is basically more like an investment you're making for yourself. Okay, so instead of just putting anyhow random kind of picture, just make sure that you go to a studio and take a good picture and use it out. Okay, and this relates to every other social media platform. Just in case it's not just LinkedIn you're building your brand on. Maybe you're building your brand on many other social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Okay, you understand? So that's the whole idea. Okay, or maybe let's say you're selling something. Let me say you're selling a product, and let me say it's a physical product, because most people feel that, okay, if they're selling a physical product, what's the best social media platform for them to build on? Well, personally, I think you should build on a social media platform where most of these these kinds of platforms that accept much more of visuals like Instagram, so that way you can put out more of your product samples there. That's if you are more like a product, like if you're selling a product, more like a physical product, okay? But if you have a services or you have a skill that you're actually rendering, or probably you have a digital product you're promoting or something, you can actually leverage more of LinkedIn. Okay, that's the idea. Okay, so now the next thing here you should do is you should look out for is your LinkedIn banner. Now your LinkedIn banner, like on Facebook, I think we call it your cover photo on Facebook. Aside your profile picture, the other upper part that shows some like a kind of banner about yourself is your LinkedIn banner. Okay, so now your banner should be visually appealing. Now most people start out LinkedIn usually get this all wrong. Okay, more like you cannot just how do I put it? Now, I want you to understand that your LinkedIn banner is more like the first impression people get about you. So now, just for instance, now you start up your profile on LinkedIn and someone actually clicks on your profile just to check you out. Okay. And the very first thing the person sees is your banner. And if your banner is not good enough, he won't even reach out to even check out your content or even check out your profile. And if you are very intentional with these things and you make sure these things are highly attended to, okay, the person can actually go scroll through your profile and get to see you, and we definitely want to connect with you. And most people who are like on LinkedIn now, they have lots of people who are hiring people, like lots of companies who are branded on LinkedIn, who are looking out for services, and probably you have a skill that you're rendering out. Okay, and they can actually get to check you out, and if they see your profile and your LinkedIn banner is not looking like someone who they can work with, they definitely not work with you, because the whole idea is nobody wants to work with a beginner. Okay, nobody's looking for an incompetent staff, and nobody knows how well you do your work. Nobody has worked with you before, and how can they get to trust you is if they see your profile is well optimized. They'll now get to trust you, and they'll be like, yes, this person can actually deliver. Okay, so it is very, very important. And most people usually get this wrong. Now this is the best advice I usually give people if you're starting out, and probably if you've gotten this wrong too. Now, do not design your LinkedIn banner yourself if you're not a graphic designer. You get why? It's very, very important. I don't know if you can follow me. Okay, it's very, very important. Now, if you are starting out, it's a lot more better for you to get a professional to design your LinkedIn banner. Okay, now, like I said, your LinkedIn banner has to be visually appealing, and it is very, very important. I don't know how I can stress about this. I just need people to understand these things well, because they are very, very important, and I keep stressing on it. Okay, anyways, that should be settled. So just make sure that you get someone who can design a better LinkedIn banner for you. And this is something you should understand. It's not just creating a LinkedIn banner and just putting out some casual stuff there, like what you do. Like, let me say I am a digital marketing strategist. Of course, I'm a digital marketing strategist. I'll just put there possible digital marketing strategist, and that's all. No, it doesn't work that way. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Now, there are some key information that has to be on your LinkedIn banner. Okay, now the whole idea is that before you even get to do all these things, you first have to understand that you must know what you're doing on LinkedIn. We're going to get into that rather in when we're talking about your bio. Okay, so let me just give you a brief talk about that. Okay, so you need to get to know who you're targeting on LinkedIn. Who exactly are you looking out for to help with your services? Of course, you cannot be targeting everybody. You cannot be saying, okay, you are let's say you are a info product marketer. Maybe you are an affiliate marketer and you are selling a digital product on LinkedIn. Like, who exactly are you looking out to buy your product? Okay, or let me say you are a copywriter. Okay, what niche do you belong in copywriting? Is it the email marketing? Okay, do you understand? Like, you need to be very, very, very specific with those things. Get to know who your target audience are. Okay, get to know their pain points, and using these whole things, those things, you're going to use it to create your bio and also put out some valuable insights in your LinkedIn banner. Do you understand? I won't really talk so much on this because of time. So let's move on. Let's move on. So now for your bio. Now I want you to understand that your bio is basically a quick and detailed summary of what you do. Just like every other social media platform, we have bios. More like even on your WhatsApp, you have your bio. Most people will be like open to connect, or most people will be like ready to work, not available. Those are bios, more like I like put it, more like a summary of what you do, a quick and detailed summary of what you do. Okay, so now I want you to understand this. Now, people just don't really understand these things. Sometimes you may say, okay, yeah, let me say you are a copywriter, okay, and you're helping out people to write email sequences. Okay, as a copywriter, but obviously you know that you're actually writing copies to sell. I know I'm using copywriters because I work more with them. I work a lot with them. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So in your bio, this is the things your bio has to be answering three key questions. Okay, you don't just write out your bio just like that. Now you have to try to make sure it is relevant to the people you are actually trying to target. Okay, so this is it. Your bio has to be answering these three questions: what you do, who you help, and how you can help your audience. I'm going to take that again. Your bio has to be answering these three questions: what you do, who you help, and how you can help your audience. All right, let's not digress. Okay, now I want us to remember that we are talking about how you can win the LinkedIn game and also attract clients for your business. And I'm trying to make you understand the key points, the key things that has to be in place for you to get that done. Okay, all right, back to the bio. Now, let me give you a little example, like how I wrote my bio using these three questions. Now, this is it. I'm going to be calling it out and I'll tell you how I did it. Okay. Now, what do I do? More like, what do you do? Now, this is what I put out there for me. Okay. I said, I am a digital, or I could just say digital marketing strategist, sales coach. So that's what I do. I'm a digital marketing strategist and a sales coach. Now, who do you help? Over there, I said, okay, now who do you help are basically more like your target audience, the people you are actually looking out to serve on LinkedIn with your service or your skill, or probably you're selling a product, and those are the people you want to sell those products for. Of course, you should understand that whatever service or product you're putting out, you just make sure that it's more like a solution to their problem. It's going to be more like a solution to their problem. Okay, so now who do I help? I help info product marketers, freelancers, and CEOs. Okay. Now, how can I help them? I help them by what? Creating or crafting winning marketing strategies to bring them leads, gigs, and sales. I don't know if you understand that. So I use those three questions to write a unique bio for myself. Okay. Highlighting what I do. Okay, the people I help, more like calling out my target audience, and also how I can get to help them. Because if anybody is actually looking at your profile, and let me say your potential client looking at your profile, the very first thing that's going to be in his mind is, what is in it for me? Like, what exactly can this guy do for me? What problem do I have that this guy can solve? Do you understand? So that is what your bio should be telling, and that's the same thing you should infuse in your LinkedIn banner too. Well, I wish I could share my screen. I don't know. I wish I could share my screen. Maybe I would have shown you guys more of these things. Anyways, let's carry on. Let's carry on. So yeah. So yes, yeah, I think I've given you a quick example with my own bio, how I actually used those three questions to craft a bio for myself. What you do, who you help, and how you can help your audience. Okay. So now let's go over to the next thing here. You have your summary section, more like your about section. Okay. This is very, very important too. Okay, most people would want to know more about you. Now, this is more like, remember I told you that your bio is more like a summary of what you do. Now, your about section is going to be more like you getting to expatiate. Okay, so it's going to tell a story that connects with your audience and highlights your expertise. Now, this time you're actually now telling them exactly how you can get to help them. Do you understand? You're actually trying to tell them how you can get to help them, and that's your bio section. So, there are frameworks you use to write all these things on LinkedIn. You don't just write them normally. There are frameworks you follow so that your about section would be outstanding. Okay, so that is it for the about section. Okay, then there are other areas that you need to and focus on now. This, remember, we are talking about how you can get to optimize your profile on LinkedIn, okay? Or the things you should look out for, the checklist that you should look out for while you're trying to optimize your profile on LinkedIn. Okay, good. So yeah. So the next thing here is going to be your link in bio. Now your link in bio could be more like a link. Let me say now, it could be your portfolio. Let me say if you are rendering a service, more like a freelancer, you're rendering a service. Of course, you should have a portfolio, or probably yeah, like now, okay, like now you're a graphic designer and you have to like have more like a website or a link where you get to showcase most of your past work, in case maybe any potential client is looking out for your service. You definitely want to reach out. Okay, so that's where you put in your link in. Okay, it's more like, how I put it, it's more like after you have your profile picture, your bio, the next thing downwards where it's showing where you are based, like, it more like give you a little personal information about yourself, about your profile. Okay, then you have your LinkedIn, your link in bio. Okay, now your also your link in bio could be, let me say, if your entire aim of building on LinkedIn is to generate leads for your product, maybe you're selling a particular product, and when it comes to marketing, of course, you should have your funnel. Okay, how where you get to attract leads, then you funnel them, then that's where you actually get to close them and start making your sales. Okay, so you could actually put in your link there. Maybe if you're funneling your leads to maybe a website or maybe a landing page, or maybe you could actually get them to how I put it, sign up for your email. Okay, maybe that you are actually running email marketing and you want to start sending email sequences to them just so that you can help them understand more about your product and the rest of it. Or probably you're sending them to your WhatsApp where you get to do more of your WhatsApp marketing and get to close them. Then you can now input that link there. Okay, so that is it. And if you're looking out for that link, I think it's in your settings. That's when you're doing your settings, link in bio. Okay, so those are the things you should look out for. Then we have your feature section. Okay, your feature section is very, very important. Now, your feature section is more like your selling point on LinkedIn. It's more like a selling point on LinkedIn. Now, how do I explain this for people who don't really understand this thing? Now, let me say now, once you've started your LinkedIn, maybe you created an account on LinkedIn. I think I've been talking for a while now. Please let me know if you're following me, please. Thank you so much. Let me know if you're following me. Please just highlight with a sticker. Let me get to know if you're still with me.
We are following
Oh,
you, sir.
okay, good. Okay, good. All right. So yeah, back to this now. So yeah, your feature section is basically more like your selling point on LinkedIn. Okay, sorry, I'll soon be done. I think my time is almost done. Yeah, it's more like your selling point on LinkedIn. Now, what you actually put out on your feature section is basically more like what you sell. It could be that maybe you're running maybe you have a lead magnet. Now, a lead magnet is basically something that you put out to attract your target audience. It could be a free webinar, it could be a free ebook, it could be a free template to solve a particular problem. But you have to understand that all those things should be solution to your audience problem. Okay, so let me say your feature section should actually more like have those things. Maybe you have a product that you're selling, or maybe you have a book, you're an author. Okay, put it out in your feature section. Okay, maybe you have yes, like a product you're selling, you put it out in your feature section. Maybe a free consultation call, maybe it could be a free clarity call or a strategic call, you put it out in your feature section. Okay, that will help a lot. And you have to understand that most people they usually more like put most of their what's it called, most of their content, most content that are actually doing well. Maybe this kind of content could be content that did well and is passing a clear message to your target audience. Okay, so you can put it out in your feature section as well, and also in your experience section. Okay, your experience section is could be maybe your previous work you've done with clients. It could be your internship. It could be some voluntary work you've done. More like a section where you get to showcase your expertise, that yes, you are good in this particular field, you're good in this particular industry. Okay, so that is the idea. Those are the things that you should look out for. That's just a little checklist. Okay, there's more to that. Okay, I'm just trying to make this very, very, very short. Anyways, so let me get into the strategies that will help you win on LinkedIn and actually get you to attract clients. Now, the very first year is engagement. Engage. Now, I don't know, most people don't really understand this whole idea of engage. Maybe you come on LinkedIn, you see lots of people putting out content, valuable content. Okay. They put out different things, maybe they write about their expertise and the rest of it. Then what exactly should you do? Maybe it's not just about you consuming a particular content. And this is why I usually tell people, stop being the consumer and start being the producer. Now, you can be a producer in somebody's else's content. Now, what do I mean by that? Okay. So now I want you to understand that we have what we call the LinkedIn algorithm. Okay. And LinkedIn algorithm gets to reward people with their engagement. Okay. That's to say the likes, the comments, and that you make on people's posts. Now, maybe someone make a post about a particular thing, and if it's something that interests you, you can go there, comment on it, write something insightful. It's not just saying, don't just reading the content and be like, wow, thank you for sharing, blah blah blah. No, give out your own idea, okay, about what the person wrote. Okay, that's more like making engagement. And you do this a couple of times. There are basically so many frameworks you get to do. Okay, but because of time, we won't go deep into that. Okay, I'm just giving you surface level information. Anyways, also you get to create valuable content. Like I said, stop being the consumer and start being the producer. Okay. Some people on LinkedIn, they'll just come on LinkedIn and all they are doing is just reading people's content, getting motivated by people's content. How about this? You are the one who is now motivating people, creating helpful content that is helping your target audience solve a particular problem. Of course, it helps to build your credibility and expertise. People would see you as a thought leader in your field, and definitely, it would going to more like attract lots of potential buyers to you, but lots of potential clients to you. Do you understand? Like now, maybe you have your target, your target audience, and you know who you're actually trying to serve on LinkedIn. Okay, then those people would be looking out for people. Everybody's looking for solution to their problem. And let's say you're creating contents that have a particular solution to a particular person's problem. Obviously, those group of people would want to connect with you, would want to learn more from you. And best part is that if you have an offer, you can actually get to sell any of your services to them, and that's just it. So content is king. Okay, content marketing is your secret weapon. Okay, so you have to share content that provides solutions, that educates or probably inspires your audience. Okay, so valuable content actually gets to position you as a thought leader. Okay, and helps build much more. It gives you a better perception, more like gives your audience a better perception of you. You understand? More like they get to see you as someone who is capable enough of solving their problem. That's what content does for you. Okay, you keep on sharing valuable insights about your industries, you keep on sharing valuable insights about your work, maybe your client stories, your own testimonials. Do you understand? So it actually more like helps your audience to relate more with you. Do you understand? Get to understand you, and it also gets to build the KLT factor. And it even becomes much more easier for you to sell, even gets to pitch yourself. No stress. If someone already sees you on LinkedIn and sees that you're doing very well, and probably you reach out to the person in his DM and be like, okay, this is what you do, trying to pitch yourself and stuff like that. Obviously, the person has been how I put it, the person has seen your work and he has been convinced that yes, you know quite a little about this particular thing. And yes, that's to say that you have the ability to deliver. Okay, so that is the whole idea. Okay, you also get to build meaningful connections. So I want you to understand this now. Many people who are starting out on LinkedIn, they're just obsessed about getting a large number of followers and stuff like that. That shouldn't be your case. You have to focus more on quality than quantity. And what do I mean by quality? Now, quality audience are basically people who actually resonate with your content, who would resonate with your content. Now, you cannot say that you are into the sales and marketing niche, and then you're reaching out to people who are into the fashion and design niche. Obviously, you guys won't relate. Okay, obviously, you guys won't relate. Okay, and it won't really it won't resonate with your audience at all. So that's to say that you have to make sure that whatever content you're creating, okay, it has to like whatever connections you're making, rather, okay, it has to relate with your industry, okay. So if you are a copywriter and your target audience are people who are looking out for email sequences and stuff like that, okay, those are the kinds of people you should connect with your target audience, send personalized messages. Well, it appears that my time is quite over, but I'm going to round up right now, okay. But I'm going to round up right now, so let me just give this last point, which is going to help a lot. Now, most people actually more like spend a lot of time doing all these things on LinkedIn, but they don't see results. And let me share you a little secret. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to say before I give our next speaker the opportunity to speak. Okay, so now it's called time delegation. Okay, the idea is you have to be very intentional with these things. It's not just about you spending 24 hours or spending so much time doing all these things, but you're not delegating time to tasks. Okay, now this is the idea now. Now, for LinkedIn to work well for you, this is what you should do. You have to be very specific. Okay, get to know that for if you're actually building your brand on LinkedIn, you should have your specific posting time. Get to know what time works well for you, and it's not just listening to people say, okay, 9 o'clock works well for you, 10 o'clock will work well for you. You get to experiment with these things. Okay, how do I mean? Maybe today you post up by this time, check out the amount of engagement you got and all those stuff. It will help you a lot. And also delegate time for sending requests and going to people's DMs. More like getting to connect, making valuable connections with people. Maybe you can say, okay, for every day, maybe I can use 30 minutes to send connections to my target audience, send connections to people who are related to with the things I do. Do you understand? I hope you get this. Anyways, and also you have to make a kind of an engagement list. So it's not just anybody's content you see on LinkedIn that you like engage with. Okay, make a one group with creators. More like, let me say you have about um 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 let's say about 5 creators who are about 10K followers, and you're doing this because you want to boost visibility for your brand. And the whole idea is this: if you're always the first person who is commenting, let me not see the first person, let me say you in between. Okay. I think I'll have to stop here. Anyways, I think I'll have to stop here. I'll have to stop here right now. Okay. So anyways, I encourage you to apply these strategies. Okay. I wish I had enough time to talk, but anyways, let's just stop here and let's get to see if anybody has any question relating to things. Okay.
It was such an insightful session. So if we have any questions, I would appreciate that we put it in the comments so that Precious can attend to it. Our time is already moving really fast, and the next speaker is already on ground. And so I would love that we share our concerns. If there's anything we shared or taught that wasn't clear to you, you can just put it in the comments. And if you do not have questions, I'm talking for those that are not typing their questions currently, you can just give Sir Precious Oboy a follow on LinkedIn. You already saw his name on the design, Sir Precious, the surname OBO. Just search it on LinkedIn, and I'm sure you've seen his face on the design, so you can be able to tell which profile is from the variety of options that will be shown to you. All right. So personally, for me, I've learned a lot because I started out on LinkedIn early last year and I stopped LinkedIn late last year. I'm just this Facebook type of person, not because I want to be what English should I use now? Like, I just feel my target audience are more on Facebook because my target audience are teenagers. But then I'm just reasoning that I have a variety of potentials as a multi-potential, and so I'd be on LinkedIn with one part of my brand. I mean, with one part, I'm an editor and proofreader. So I just be there with that particular brand so I can be I can be all the remaining things on Facebook and the rest of the social media platforms. So personally for me, I think the issue or the main reason why I got stuck last year on LinkedIn is because I did not have a smart goal. But then I'd get back to it. Honestly, I've been telling the founder of House of Wisdom that I'll definitely get back to LinkedIn. And because he has told us to set a smart goal, I will write a smart date that I will return back to LinkedIn, create a content strategy, and return as well. So, what's your own resolve since you heard this teaching on how to step up the weekly game? Let us know what your resolve is. And so, if there are no questions, that means we understood everything that Sir Precious said. It was actually really simple. It was when I mean really simple, it was straightforward. He did not use complex terms. He broke down his teachings in a way that all of us, I'm sure many of us could understand. So since we do not have questions, I want to say a very big thank you to Sir Precious. Thank you so much, sir, for coming on board. Despite your busy schedule, you made it like possible to be here. You ensured to show up for us, and you did not just show up in a little way. I'm sure those on YouTube are like, they must have gotten a lot of redirections like right now, because a lot of us feel LinkedIn is too professional for us. Like I said earlier, most of my audience is our Facebook. They are teenagers, when I say 13, 14, 15 year olds. But then I already thought of what to do as he was speaking. I was making some points, I was noting some points, and I'll step up my game. And so you can just download the LinkedIn app and get started according to what Sir Precious has taught us. And the link for the replay will be put on YouTube later. So as we bid Sir Precious goodbye from his teaching with us this evening, I want us to go to LinkedIn. Do not forget, search Precious Obo on LinkedIn and give him a follow. Don't just follow him. Try as much as possible to go through some of his contents, drop insightful comments, or if you don't even have any comments at all, you can just digest them. No, valuable content is king, and what you consume is what you'd actually bring out. So feed yourself well, and you'll be able to bring out something well. You will get. All right. Thank you so much, Sir Precious. So Miss Margaret is here. Miss Margaret Etudo. I've been following this one. Like, I've been following her. Like last year when I was on LinkedIn, I followed Miss Margaret like big time. I even subscribed to her newsletters. I'm still receiving her newsletters. I mean, her email newsletter. Yeah. So this woman, let me read her profile first. It should not be like I'm just hyping her and maybe I'm not serious, or what I'm saying, I'm just trying to sweet talk her because she's on this call. But I've been following her on LinkedIn, and I'd love to read her profile to us. So Miss Margaret is an energetic content marketer. Honestly, I can relate to that. She's really energetic, even in her newsletters. She's an energetic content marketer, and you can see that from the videos she shares online. I found Mrs. Iyabo, met her on LinkedIn, and it's been a pleasure to know her. So these are some excerpts of the brief chat our founder had with Miss Margaret. So Miss Margaret studied pharmacy at Unilag and got into freelance writing because she wanted to help people to write assignments. And she eventually saw a course on freelance writing. She ended up learning, practicing, getting her first client, and the rest, they say, is history. That's how she got into health writing. That's how she got into health writing. She got onto LinkedIn about the time she learned freelance writing. Else writing was what she initially wanted to do, considering the fact that she studied pharmacy. She says everything works hand in hand. As for LinkedIn, I felt like I understood the platform to some extent, and so I could help in the health industry as a LinkedIn marketer. She will be 4 years into content marketing in a few weeks, and she sees a future in it. She has registered her company, so it is not something that is dying anytime soon. It is very powerful, and all the jobs she's ever gotten as a health writer were through LinkedIn and storytelling. And she says that storytelling is the live wire of branding. It helps us to tell our story and connect with our audience All right, so we would give it up for Miss Margaret as she takes on the stage to teach us unlocking the power of storytelling for your personal brand. We had a swell time with Sir Precious, and I'm sure we'll go through the replay again, especially for me that I am returning back to LinkedIn strongly. So let's give it up for Miss Margaret as she teaches us how to engage storytelling in building a personal brand. Over to you, Miss Margaret.
Thank you so much, Faye. Thank you for the introduction. I don't think I still have anything to do because you have already washed me down. So it's all about me getting into it. Thank you so much. So yes, we are going to be talking about personal brand storytelling. And yes, also I want to say thank you to Precious because I'm very passionate about LinkedIn because I know a lot of people do not know about it. I mean, I am not just passionate about LinkedIn, I'm passionate about social media marketing in general. So, but I know that from, with all the social media platform, LinkedIn is the one that I get DMs. Like I'm currently running an advertisement on my page on Instagram, and a lot of people are telling me that they do not understand this. Some people are, asking me questions that they're supposed to know, but they don't. And I don't blame them because information is not there, and a lot of people are just focused on certain things. They're not actually focused. Some people that say that they're LinkedIn coaches are not focused on telling, they are not actually focused on telling people the thing they need to know about LinkedIn, So this is why I do what I do. And one of the ways that you can succeed on LinkedIn, in fact, I think is the only way, is through storytelling. So when this topic means a lot to me because I will be able to explain to you how it worked for me. I'm going to give it from my own perspective. I don't want to start saying things that, circulating the same thing over and over again that, you are hearing all the time. I want to tell you how it has worked for me. And then perhaps you can learn a thing or two from there. So I started my brand, like Faith said, I started my brand. It was an accident. I entered all this marketing thing accidentally. I didn't even know what I wanted to do. And one thing I need to correct is I'm still studying pharmacy. So just know that you can relate. We can relate on a one-to-one level that is really not hard for you to get into this thing. And I entered in accidentally while I was still trying to juggle school, and I, wanted to do something on the internet. I just wanted to make money, that kind of college student vibe. You want to just get something doing. And that was how I did not succeed in doing people's assignments. But I was able to find out about freelance writing, and that, as God will have it, I saw a course that I could learn it from. I started from there. I had a couple of clients from Facebook groups. That's where I got them from. And some of them scammed me, but then it's part of the learning process. And eventually I discovered LinkedIn and started being intentional about showing up there. So how did I grow my brand? How did I grow up to 5,000 followers under 1 year on LinkedIn? I mean, that is not a big deal considering how people are growing and gaining a lot of followers. But to me, it's a big thing considering that I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I got a lot of lambasting that my flyers, then the designs I used to do wasn't that good and all of that. So, I can't really say that I got a lot of people paying attention to what I was saying until I started with connecting with my audience. And the best way I knew I could do that was through video. Now, I'm not trying to say that you cannot engage or practice the storytelling techniques without video. But for me, it was video that helped me. It's video that is still helping me. And, I'm going on with my thing as so. And so for personal brand storytelling, I think my LinkedIn kicked off last year, May. And that was one video. I can remember the video. I haven't deleted it. It's still on my TikTok. It was a very funny video and a lot of people liked that. So the thing I've noticed about LinkedIn is that if you want to grow, most times people resort to the selfie mode where they just post a picture about themselves and you see a lot of people liking. And I actually did a test with this. So I made a post this week, I think it was on Thursday. I made a post and it was just a text post. I didn't add a video. I didn't add anything. and it didn't go as well as I wanted it to. Then I removed the post and made another one and added my picture that was related. It wasn't just a picture of me smiling or something like that. It was in relation to the post I made. And it got, right now, the last time I checked, it was 900 and something impressions. Right now, it's well over 1,000 impressions. So what does that tell you? You need to understand the platform in which you are communicating so that you can be able to grow with it. In as much as you doing something so good as storytelling, if you don't understand where you are practicing, you're carrying out the storytelling techniques, it will look like you're just throwing spaghetti on the wall for anything to stick. It's not going to really work for you. So one thing I've noticed about LinkedIn is you need to be intentional and you need to not lie. A lot of people come there, they're lying, they're saying things that are not true. And nowadays, we are getting more woke people, more truth sayers, more ninjas who are going into the comment section and calling out people that are saying outrageous things. Come and prove it. If you say that LinkedIn said this, show us where they said it. If you say that this is happening, show us. You have to come and prove things, because the reason why LinkedIn is being dragged on Twitter especially, and even Reddit, there are literally rooms in Reddit where, I mean, if you enter there and you say anything that is in support of LinkedIn users, you are finished. The reason why this thing is happening is because the people on LinkedIn, not all of them understand that you don't need to fish for engagement. I understand we need engagement for us to move our business in different paths, but at the same time, we need to understand that you are talking to people and you're not talking to robots. They would question you if you are not saying the truth. In fact, you are saying the truth, they're already questioning you, talk less of when you are lying. So it's important for you to understand these things. So, when you are, another thing I noticed when it comes to storytelling is there are two kinds of videos that I currently use. And anytime I post the one where I am doing like a character switch, like two of my own self who are talking in a video, one person is asking question, another person is answering, like, that kind of scenario, I get more engagement compared to when I'm just talking to the screen. And so I noticed that people like stories, because why? When you are trying to ask questions or when you're trying to play a role, it's easier for us humans to assume that role. Think about it. Sometimes when we watch Netflix, I don't know if this happens to anybody, but sometimes when you watch a movie on Netflix, you start to assume roles of the characters, your favorite characters, and you start to try and behave like them. Why? Because they've told a story so much so that you see yourself in them. You're able to relate. You're able to follow it through. So that's the same thing with LinkedIn. If you are trying to there are certain personalities that people can tell off, whether it's your video content, whether it's your written content, whether it's your carousel, the carousel you post, or even your picture. So you need to understand these things. If you are trying to you're trying to get people to listen to you, you have to know, okay, which tone am I going to be using to talk to these people? And you have to be consistent. If you notice, there are certain things that I do not change in the way I could produce my own content. These things are unique to my personal brand. These things are the things that can help me to grow. I know some people, the thing about LinkedIn is the more content you create, the more you create content, the more better you are in your storytelling technique. And the more better you are in that, the more people will engage with your content. And the more people engage with your content, the more your content will become so big that those keywords you've put inside your profile that are trying to target your ideal clients will start attracting your ideal clients. Inbound leads. You're getting people into the DMs. And that's what matters. Imagine you creating content from January to December on LinkedIn. At the end of the day, nobody asks you how much do you charge. I mean, Precious already said that we should try to take out like 30 minutes, connect with people on LinkedIn and, send them a DM and all of that, networking with people. Sometimes you can decide that, okay, you don't want to build any connection. You want to go straight to the point. I know a lot of people say, don't cold email, but see, let me tell you something. If you meet me when I am looking for an email marketer, and instead of you to just tell me what you do, you start telling me that you're just saying hi. Another person in the DM is telling me that they're an email marketer, this is what they can help my business do, and they're just letting me know. I'll most likely go with the person who has already told me what they're looking for. I'm not saying that you are going to be a ninja or you're going to be a wizard trying to find out who needs you when. I'm just saying that try to strike a balance. Okay, in the world of marketing, in the world of storytelling, in the world of everything that has to do with digital marketing, we need to, put this thing called A/B testing. You're doing something, you try another thing, keep all the metrics control. The only thing you change is one thing. Let's say you're doing video and the only thing you change is the hook, or you're writing a caption, you're writing a LinkedIn text post, and the only thing you change is the call to action. Test it and know which one is working. The way you're writing your captions, is it working? Do you see more results when you screenshot your tweets from Twitter and post it on LinkedIn as post? Is that when you see more results? You need to be thinking. Don't just go on LinkedIn and say that you want to imitate, or a lot of people make this mistake. They come to LinkedIn, instead of focusing on what's your values, you start looking for how to teach us how to use LinkedIn. Doesn't make any sense. Okay, so be true to yourself. I picked the niche of helping health brands to figure out the heck they're doing on LinkedIn, because I noticed that it's a gap in the health industry. And lots of these brands are doing fantastically well with their blogs. They are doing well with SEO online. But when it comes to social media, which is like an important part of the whole thing we're doing, as long as you're online, they are lacking, especially on LinkedIn. Okay. Some of these people do not understand the fact that when you use company pages, there's a whole lot of metrics, a whole lot of statistics that has to do with LinkedIn company pages, talk less of your personal page. And that sometimes it pays for you to build a brand, for you to get your audience to know you, whether you're a founder, a content manager, a CMO, whatever it is that you're into in that health field. It pays for you to have a personal connection with your audience than when you're going behind the face of the company. Okay, people don't relate with companies, they relate with people. They relate people to people, P2P. So that is one thing you need to understand, that you have to, infuse in your storytelling. And storytelling does not necessarily mean you come here and you start telling us a story. There are a lot of techniques to this thing, okay? Your authenticity is part of it. You being authentic, you building trust with your audience is all part of it. You don't need to come and start looking for a story that does not exist just to carry out a point. It's literally in your life. If you say you're a graphic designer and you are coming to LinkedIn, you want to start building a brand, what kind of designs do you look at that make you, squirm and be like, what the heck did I just see? Come there and tell us the story of how you were going to ShopRite, and then on the way you saw this billboard, it kind of caught your eye because the colors were so vibrant, only for you to look at it and found out that, certain lines and strokes, they put diagonal lines with horizontal stripes and it didn't make any sense to you. That's a story. But if it's important to you, you're not talking about how I should optimize my profile. You're not talking about how I should farm for likes and comments. You're telling me how you saw something that did not make sense. And you may even go the extra mile of saying you took a screenshot of what you saw and you went behind the scene to design it to look better. And this is what it should be looking like. You never can tell. If you even have the opportunity and the company is on LinkedIn, you can tag them on LinkedIn saying that you saw their billboard and you feel like if they should change this and that, it will be better. Who knows? You can get them to hire you as their in-house designer just because you told a story of how you saw it when you were going somewhere and you happen to you didn't like it, you changed it, and that's how you try to relate. Okay. I tell people about consistency. When I'm trying to talk about consistency online, I use stories. I don't necessarily come and tell you have to be here every single day. No, I can literally tell you that, when you go to the railway, when you go, I don't know how many of you here are living in Lagos. So if you are familiar with the environment of Yaba Railway, you will notice all those vendors are on the road, all those Igbo boys, they're always saying, come and buy this one, that one. They won't even let you to even take a step before flinging their clothes in your front. Now, those people, they are consistent, but they have a flaw in the sense that they are not able to identify their target audience. It's not everybody that wants to buy what you're buying, which is why I prefer the people that are in their shops, who don't go to farm for customers. Those ones, they are there. You know that they are there. When you come, you go and buy. But the fact that those ones on the road are always consistently there, who knows how many people they're able to convert in a day. So it's important for you to understand the act of storytelling. you're not going to bore somebody just because you're teaching them something. There are two ways to say something. There are two ways for you to, let me use an example. Let's say now this is a wireless earphone. This is a wireless earphone. Now, if I wanted to talk about this, I wouldn't go with the fact that, oh, this wireless earphone, you don't need wires. It is affordable. I won't do that because there are so many AirPods on the market that are affordable that you do not need wires. So what makes yours different? I will go about the me saying maybe I was at a family event and I wasn't really interested in what my auntie had to say, talking about how I should get married, that kind of thing. And thankfully, I had my AirPods on me and I was able to take them and plug them in my ear. And the best thing about these AirPods is that you don't even need to connect or do it. Once your Bluetooth is on, automatically it gets in and nobody would even know. It blends in with the whole, no one will know that you have anything inside your ear. So it blends in with your environment. It's small, it's affordable. Because of my story, a lot of people may not need an AirPod, but because they can relate to annoying people who disturb your peace, do you understand? They would want to get this AirPod. They'll be like, oh my God, where did you get it from? How much is it? That kind of thing. You start getting inquiries. Okay. So storytelling can help you from one thing. You would branch into, it will help you to open a lot of streams of income. So you're not just talking about the AirPod. A lot of companies, including the company of this AirPod that you're wearing, will reach out to you to be a UGC creator or an influencer for them, or a brand ambassador. Why? Because they see that you are able to tell a story with their products, get their audience to, kind of listen to what you're saying, engage with your content, and even possibly buy. These are the things that companies are looking out for, how you can help them to get more money. Every single thing that we're doing everywhere is just how you can help a company to get more money. Think about the people that are doing 9 to 5. You're a banker, you're helping the company to get more money by attending to its customers. If you're a pharmacist, you're helping the company to get more money by, counseling and advising the patients and also administering medications to them, collecting the money. So if you can no longer do any of these things, the company will have no other choice but to find a replacement. Everything you are doing, you're helping someone to get money. And one beautiful way to help somebody get money is by telling stories. So I do not know if there is any other question anybody has. If anybody has any question, I will be able to answer. But I think I have explicitly explained what storytelling is and how it can help you in your brand. So if, for instance, you have optimized your LinkedIn, you have reached out to a couple of people, you're networking with people, you're genuinely finding friends and all of that, you should also consider storytelling. And do not assume that you know how to do it. One thing that you can do is try to look for courses. There are a lot of people that know what they do. You can study people. I have a book. So I have a book where I write down every single thing that has to do with my business. It's right next to my table and my laptop, and that is where I put down things. Sometimes information is too much here, you just have to write it down. So if, for instance, you are studying there's a time when you go online, you're trying to study people who are doing well. What makes people like this person? What is it that they are writing? How can I adopt it? You can literally start writing it down. It could just be like, okay, you're copying the first line you see in these people's post. Why is it better? How did they write it? What category of post are they using? Are they using text? Are they using carousels? Are they using videos? These are the questions that you need to ask. And then another thing is that it's okay for you to be ahead of the trend. If you notice that, okay, at a certain time, this thing will be very important on this platform, you can be the one to start it. I remember when I started posting videos on Twitter, it looked like I was insane. I was nuts because Twitter is a text platform, right? But I was doing it regardless. It wasn't really giving me much result, but I knew that it would because we are in the video era. It's just a matter of time before certain companies catch up. Just recently now, Twitter has a section for videos on the Twitter app, and it's even getting better and better. So, these are the things that you need to understand. It's not every single time you're following the crowd, you're following the pack. Be the person that is being followed. Storytelling can help you to do this. There are a lot of storytellers on Instagram. If you're not on Instagram, it's a good opportunity for you to just open that app not necessarily for business if you do not have anything to offer, but just to learn how to be more engaging. How do these people engage with you? How do they do things well? If you know that you're someone that wants to succeed and excel with text posts, go to Twitter. Some of these people that are getting a lot of engagement, it's not like they know what they're doing, but they just know how to stop you from scrolling and read what they have to say. So learn how to stop people from scrolling and listen to what you have to say. Who knows, you might be better. So that's one thing I know that has really helped me. I'm always studying people. I'm always seeing, okay, how can I implement this? But the thing about me at the same time I'm studying people is I do what I can do, and I know that it will pay off. It may take longer, but we have to be comfortable with it. Because the thing is that if you're not able to, if you don't find what is easy for you to do, find what is true for you to, commit to, what happens is you won't be consistent. And if you're not consistent, you can't see your idea through. It's really important for you to understand that as much as you're trying to be better, you're studying people and all of that, you need to also ask yourself, what can I do consistently without stopping until I see my results and until I can get somebody else to take over from me? So you're looking at people, this is what I can do, this is the right thing. You merge the two of them together and produce your own. That's what makes you a brand. That's what makes you as good as you want to be. So I think in the comments section, I saw, okay. So yeah, that's what I have to say with respect to the power of storytelling. I do not know if I was able to deliver. Can you guys tell me?
Thank you so much, Miss Margaret. For me personally, I feel like aside LinkedIn or perhaps Facebook, there is no social media platform that is not big on storytelling. Our audiences want to relate with us, just like you said, they want to stay glued. You must be able to capture their spinning the KLT factor, trust, and a robot. There's no way, okay, fine, robots, you can read through their manuals and understand how they work and all of that. But as humans, we can connect to the emotions of each other. And so, yes, storytelling comes in handy in that regard. And so we are so grateful. I was skeptical at first as to whether storytelling works very well on LinkedIn, since it's a really professional platform. At least that's what it's painted to be. But I think before I stopped being active, I've seen a lot of CEOs, and they call it fortune companies, CEOs of fortune companies. I've seen them share stories on how their brand is doing, and I'm how to do this today. Although it feels like a lot of oppression if we look at it very well, but it feels like they are carrying their followers along, and so we can follow each other. We can follow each other and just know, like, this is what this person is doing. And I've seen it on Facebook too, how that someone wants to write a book, and then they will be breaking out the process for their audience. They'll ask their audience what they think of this book cover and all of that. And I think it really helps. It boosts the engagement. You may not have all the followers in the plenty quantity at first, but at least the audience that you have, the few that we have, there'll be quality audience that can reach out to us in proximity. We feel like a close circle. And just like Sir Precious said in his chat with the founder, he said one thing he loves about the LinkedIn platform is that there's a word he used, but let me rephrase it. There's this togetherness, this connectivity with each creator. You can just see somebody doing something you like and just compliment them, and before you know it, you both are in each other's DM. When you feel stuck, you can do this, you can do that. I've seen it play out too. And so for our listeners, I just have to share a bit of all that so we can know that all the tips that Sir Precious and Miss Margaret has shared, it is really true. And for you that you'll be like, I'm still in school, I have so much to do. The both of them are still in school as well, and they're doing so well. I mean, so well. Sapesha started out on LinkedIn. It's not even up to 6 months and is doing so well already. You know, the game is to stay consistent. And like Miss Margaret said, it's okay to try out different formats and check what works. Stick to it, check what works. And for her, she goes for videos, just check what works for you. All right. And be dangerously good. Let me end it like that. Be dangerously good. I've been checking the comments to see if anyone has a question, but nobody has a question yet. And I've seen a third speaker in the room already. Let me know if you have a question. Me, it's as if I don't have questions. As a moderator or as a coordinator, I meant to have questions, but I can really relate with everything they mentioned. I can understand it. Let me not say I have understood it. Let me just put I can. I should remove I can. It's not like it's just a possibility, but I understood everything that they have shared. And I would definitely put this to practice, because honestly, I have it in mind to get back to LinkedIn big time. I'm doing well on Facebook already, and okay, I'm not so good on Instagram. I run away from Instagram a lot. But still, I would engage the power of storytelling, because I know storytelling has a way of opening up people's hearts to our personal brands. Thank you so much, Miss Margaret. And so her third speaker is in the house, Sir Lateef. But before then, let me say it again for those that joined in between. Whether you are watching on YouTube or you're watching on Zoom here. If you're on YouTube, we're saying hi to you. Sorry that you are feeling left out. It's not like you're left out, but we're streaming directly on Zoom and it's live on YouTube as well. So you are part of us. I may not be able to see your names and salute you, but know that we care for you. And so follow Miss Margaret Etudo on LinkedIn, Sir Precious as well. If you're just joining us, check out their names. If you saw the design for this program, you will see their names gladly spelled out there. You can connect with the both of them on LinkedIn. And so let me invite Lateef to the mic. But before then, it's important for us to know the caliber of person that would be speaking to us. So we'll not do see finish that maybe they just wanted to complete it to be four speakers. They just found somebody along the line, somebody that can just enter. It's not like the person is that good, but still. So let me read out an excerpt of the short chat our founder had with him. So Sir Lateef Maleek. A leader met him on LinkedIn, and he is your go-to guy. That's what she calls him when it comes to SEO and content marketing. Sir Lateef studied English in Unilorin. Before he graduated, he was an academic research consultant. After graduation, he got an offer to manage a sports website. So he wrote sports articles about football, match analysis, and reports. There, he mastered how to use WordPress CMS. After that, he got a gig to join a Nigerian startup as an SEO content writer, where he wrote product-led content writing for about 6 months. That's how we got into content marketing. From there, he took the HubSpot training and worked with a couple startups in safety technology and business process automation. Then he completed the CXL advanced course, and he is now working freelance as a content strategist and writer. SEO, when done right, according to Sir Lateef, guarantees consistent growth for any business, unlike PPC and influencer marketing, where you have to pump more money to get results. And SEO content published 3 years ago can still generate business for you today. Businesses need to understand that there are literally thousands of people searching for what they do every month, notwithstanding other channels. Investing in SEO means you're setting yourself up for long-term rewards. Sir Lateef wants young adults to know that if they don't quit, they will learn and they will grow. It's guaranteed. And so I'll be calling Sir Lateef to take on the mic as he teaches us how to do content marketing and SEO right. Join me as I welcome Sir Lateef to take the mic.
Good evening, everybody. Can you hear me, Iyabo?
I can hear you, sir.
All right. Good evening, everybody. I'm happy to be here. And Meg, well done. Oh. Is she still around? I really enjoyed that session on storytelling, and she dropped a couple of key points that I think is very important for marketing today. Can everybody hear me? Because I'm not using my headset.
Yes, I can.
Oh, good. So today I want to talk to you guys about how to do content marketing right. And I prepared a slide. It's about 3, 4, 5 minute slide. Can I share my screen? I'm unable to share my screen. Would you allow me to do that?
Please come again, come again with your question, sir.
I said I would like to share my screen. I'm unable to do it. The host has disabled screen sharing.
Maybe you should tell the host to give you co-host.
She will grant you access now, sir. Access, sir.
Is it done? I'm still unable to share. Hello?
Yeah, she's recording with the laptop, so that's why there's a bit of delay, but she's on it. She's coming, sir. So you can try again now.
Okay. All right. Sorry, I didn't inform you.
She's permitted you.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's my screen now. So hold on, please. I'm having some trouble with my slideshow. Okay, so how to do content marketing and SEO right? What does that even mean? The reason why I'm asking that question is because content marketing is one thing and SEO is another thing. Can everybody hear me? So what we are doing in marketing generally is content marketing. So like marketing with content, right? So SEO is just one of the many channels of content marketing, right? So when we ask ourselves, how do you do content marketing and SEO, right? We're asking ourselves, how do we achieve business outcomes through SEO in the right way? So before we go there, let me just show you, can everybody see this graph? So when you look at this graph is a snapshot of exactly what proper content marketing looks like. And it can get bigger than this, but this is just a summary of what it is. And when you look at the center here, you can see that we have our service page. And the reason why the service page is at the center is because everything we are doing in content marketing is to generate the business outcome. You want people to buy from you. So what you are doing essentially is you are ensuring that when people are ready to buy, you want to stay on top of their mind, so that when they are ready to buy, the only thing they can see on the website, or the only thing they are looking for on the website is a service page, so that they can do this exchange of transaction. How did we get here? This slideshow, this presentation I'm giving you is just typically what we do for brands when we want to execute content marketing strategy for them. So I'm just giving you the summary for now. So if you look at this, you can see how we divided content creation into Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So I'll now go into all the processes that come into having this outcome. So I said, when it's done right, content marketing through SEO should help businesses achieve a business goal or outcome. That is maybe product sign up, newsletter sign up, follow us on social media, come to our webinar. Any business outcome for brand is anything you do that enables you to achieve that business outcome through SEO is, you can say you've done your content marketing right. So first question you want to ask yourself, if I'm to design if you want to do content marketing and SEO for a brand today, the first thing you have to ask the brand is, well, what is your business outcome, right? What do you want to achieve with your business? Well, I have a coffee business and I want people to buy coffee from me online, or let's say I have a contract management software and I want people to subscribe, I want people to use my SaaS product. Okay, so how can we achieve that with SEO? So you can even make your business goal more specific by saying, you know what they say about SMART goals. You can make it more specific by saying, I need 100 customers to buy my product and I want to get them through search engine, right? So the first thing you want to do is to understand the business goal you want to achieve. So when you understand that, you say, okay, well, I need a content strategy. Well, what is content strategy? Content strategy is just your plan to achieve a business goal with content. Strategy is a plan, content is the utility. So because you want to achieve that business goal, you need to plan. So you have to put down a content strategy. I know many people mistake content strategy with content marketing. No, content strategy is a part of content marketing, right? So your strategy is how you want to achieve that business goal through content. While SEO's content strategy is how you want to achieve a business goal through SEO content, right? So how do you create a content strategy? Well, an SEO content strategy is typically you just creating SEO content. I need to publish SEO content so that my website can attract customers from search. Well, so where do we go from there? Then you ask yourself, what should I publish, right? But before you talk about what should you publish, what are you publishing for? You already identify your business outcome. You want people to use your product. Well, who are those people? So the first step you want to do is what? Define your target audience. Who is that one person that you can serve better than every other person on the internet, right? So if you have a coffee business, or let's say you have a, let's all give you an example of a business. Let's use that as an example throughout the program. Am I talking to myself? Hello?
Please, let's stick to that copywriting because I love that one.
Let's do what?
Let's stick to copywriting.
Copywriting as a business?
Yes.
So you want to do content SEO and content marketing for your copywriting business, right?
Yes.
All right, good. So we have a copywriting business now. Let me write it down so I don't forget. So we have a copywriting business. I want to define our target audience. Now, in copywriting, you can decide to niche down or you can be generic. So for example, if you want to do copywriting for financial products, let's say products like OPay, like Kudi, like Money Points, Vasa, all those financial products. So you want to do content marketing and SEO, and your target audience are your target audience are businesses that have financial products. Let's say you want to do content marketing for business like what's this app we used to save money? Piggyvest, right? Everybody knows Piggyvest, right? So you want to do content copywriting for Piggyvest. So you ask yourself, who is the one best person I can serve with my products? Well, we identify them as Piggyvest. So what am I offering Piggyvest? So you already know who you want to serve, but what do you want to offer them? The reason why we're talking about offering is because everything you publish online should push people towards an exchange. An exchange of value has to happen online. Anytime people go online, there's always an exchange of value. Is either they go and look at food recipe, is either they go and look at everything they put online initiates an exchange of value, right? So what's your offer? Well, your offer is copywriting service, but that's just your primary offer, right? That's just your primary offer. You cannot except where they Google copywriting services before they can actually click and exchange for your primary offer. So you have secondary offers like copywriting tips, copywriting strategy, how to not do copywriting, and all of that. So you have to define your offer, your primary offer. What will I offer my target audience in exchange for their committed click, right? So when you get that, you ask yourself, what should I publish to attract my target audience in exchange for their committed click? So what should you publish? Then you define your themes. Because you are targeting a specific audience who is Piggyvest, people in the financial niche, that means you have to publish areas of your deepest expertise. So if you've been a copywriter for the financial niche for over 10 years, and you know this is the niche you want to work in, you have no business publishing things like generic stuff, right? It's not like it's bad, they can help you, but you want to be targeted, you want to be deliberate about it. So you put together themes such as things like copywriting for financial businesses, or emotions that make people buy, how people buy, and all those things that are going to attract. If I'm the CEO of Piggyvest and I realize that we are not hitting our targets because our copy is bad, I want to look for a copywriter who has niche experience. So that's why you have to define your themes. So when you define your themes, your area of deepest expertise, not your area of broadest relevance. So if you're a copywriter now, you have no business publishing about generic things in content marketing. Do you get to now? So you have to be targeted. Well, what's the next step? Then you discover how people are looking for your themes. Those themes that you've identified, themes like, for example, what emotions make people buy, or how do people use financial apps? I don't really have best examples for that. But what you want to do is those themes that you've identified, you want to look for how are people looking for those themes. You do keyword research, right? Aside from keyword research with Ahrefs or SEMrush and all those tools, you go to question and answer websites like Quora, like Reddit, like Discord, right? So you put in your offer, and you look at how are people talking about that offer. You put in your themes, you look at how are people talking about those themes. You put in your topic, you look at how are people talking about, what are questions people are asking about that topic. So you take all those information. So if you're a SaaS business, you can listen to your audience on Twitter and all of that, or you can talk to your sales and support team. Any source of original information, any source of qualitative data, any source of people talking about things that are related to your business, you go there and you collect all those things. So you already know what you want to publish now, but before you start publishing, you want to ensure that you stay on the goal. You don't want to strike out of your core area of business. So you have to define your editorial statement. So your editorial statement is going to define how your content help people, the people you want to attract from search. How is your content going to help them? It also ensures that you don't stray too deep into areas of broad relevance. And this is the framework for that. So you define it as a copywriter now. When I as the CEO of Piggyverse or the CFO or anybody in the financial, when I come to your website, what is the exchange of offer that's going to happen? So you define your editorial. You say, my website is where financial people, I don't have the best word for that, come to get a specific type of information so that they can achieve something. Can you see that editorial statement alone has strike out that there's an exchange of value? There has to be an exchange of something anytime someone comes to your website. So when the exchange happens, is it that they read the website, they read the blog, and they're able to go and solve a problem? Or is it that they read and they click to subscribe to your newsletter? There has to be an exchange. So when you create your editorial calendar, so yeah, this is just an example of an editorial statement I did for a company. So this company says, we help small and medium businesses simplify their businesses through automation so that they can enjoy more efficiency and it becomes less complicated. So you have to match the company mission, with your editorial statement. So your editorial statement is, our website is where small business owners, right? That's audience. What do you give them? Practical advice that help them simplify their process through automation. How does it help them so that they can enjoy more efficiency? That's how you put your, so you are putting your content on a mission. Anything you publish, whether it's your podcast, whether it's your videos, whether it's your Instagram reels, everything you publish has to align with this editorial statement. So you move on to the next step. Then you create a content plan or a content calendar. So you as a copywriter now, you've already found topics that people are talking about on Quora. You found it on what's it called? You found it on keyword research. Then you align all those topics into the content plan. You look at low intent topic, high intent topics. So low intent topics are informational topics like what is copywriting, how is copywriting done, 3 steps before copywriting. That's low intent, right? High intent topics like copywriting services near me, right? Copywriting services in Nigeria, best copywriters in Nigeria. Those are high intent. High intent in the sense that the person searching for it has high buying intent. They want to purchase a service, they want to purchase a product, they want to swipe their card, right? So you create a content plan where those high intent topics are connected to low intent topics, and then you have an holistic content plan where everything works together. So what do you do next? Now you write your content. You know that normally when you ask people to talk about SEO and content writing, they typically start from, you should start writing content. You should not start writing content in the first bit. You need to understand all those things from the top to the bottom. I'm saying this because I believe most of you, when you finish school, you try to get clients and all of that. So instead of how every other people do it out there, if you can present something, if a client asks you to do a content plan, in fact, after this call, if you have a client you have in mind that maybe your friend or someone that is doing business and you think they don't have a content strategy, you can easily use the steps I've given you here and create a holistic content strategy for them. And for maybe you can get your first client. So you write your content based on your editorial statements, but you are not done. By content, we mean blogs, articles, social media content, press release, videos and podcasts, white papers, and all of that. So everything is marketing content. The reason why I'm mentioning marketing content is because we also have internal content like training materials, memos, and all those things. The audience are not concerned with that. So, okay, this is just type of content to publish. Then, now you've published content and then there's a problem. Your content is not showing up. That is where SEO come in. You want your target audience to find your content so that they can exchange value. They can click, right? Their click is what's going to help you achieve your business goal. If you don't achieve your business goal, content marketing and SEO is not working for you. So how do you earn their click? Before you can earn their click, they have to find it. That is where SEO comes in. What you've published today, how do you ensure that your target audience find it in search engine? So what do you need? You need three things. You need relevance, you need authority, and you need social proof. I'm going to explain that. Relevance is, so let's go there. So this is what you need. And these three things has to be connected to your service page, right? Because your service page is where you ultimately sell. You can sell from other pages too. There are some blog posts that can sell, but ultimately your service page is like you in the marketplace, your shop. That is where people come to buy. If you put your signboard in Lagos, you put your signboard in Abuja, you put your signboard in Kano, but your business is in Ibadan, right? So those signboards in different locations are different blog posts you've written, but ultimately where the main business happens. It's not that someone cannot call the number on your signboard and maybe deposit money. Sales can come from there. But all those signboards have to be connected to your main service location, and that's the service page. So first thing to do is to optimize for relevance. And optimizing for relevance is just on-page content optimization. So I've talked about low intent and high intent, high intent content. So relevance equals to what? Using all the right on-page elements to tell Google what your content is about. So it's not just keywords alone. It is sub-features. Sub-features like images, like carousel images, like carousel images, like people also ask, like frequently asked questions, like, all those features that come together to help the sub. Then your schema types. If you are publishing an article where other people are using schema types like price of the product, like your G2 rating and all of that, you put it. So expertise, originality, freshness, these are all the on-page elements that your article needs to have in order to demonstrate relevance. And the reason why this is important is because people think Google actually ranks pages. Google doesn't rank pages. Google ranks signals. There's something we call rank signals, right? So all these things I mentioned, keywords, sub-features, schema types, expertise, originality, and freshness, these are rank signals. So when Google is scanning the web page, it ranks the page that has the highest rank signals. So this is how, if you have been thinking about SEO before, this is a good way for you to think about it. So when you are creating your page, you are essentially putting together several rank signals to ensure that the page ranks. So that's how you build relevance. So if you've done relevance, you've ensured that you've added all the keywords and everything to your website. Then the next thing for you is to build optimize for authority. So these are off-page content optimization. An authority is just essentially people on the website pointing to you and saying this person is a source of information. So if you are in a classroom, for example, your professor is teaching you about urban politics, is teaching you about city politics and all of that, and a stranger walks in and said, who is the best person I can talk to about urban politics in this room? Obviously, all of you are going to point to your lecturer. So the way you are pointing to your lecturer, that's how links work. So if someone goes to Google and is asking, what is urban politics, right? The page that comes the highest is usually sometimes page that has the best relevance, that is all those on-page optimization I've given you, and also the highest authority, that is every other pages are pointing to that page as a source of authoritative information on urban politics. Right? So you've optimized for relevance, but relevance is not enough. You have to optimize for what? Authority. So that's where you start building links. So how do you let people point to you as a source of authority? That is, you build internal links. Don't get it twisted. The pages on your site are also pointing to your pages on your site. So you are pointing to yourself as a source of authority, right? So aside from the fact that it helps you to prevent orphan pages and shows Google how your page is organized, it's also showing how you are distributing link authority across your site. So you build internal links. I'm sure most of you are familiar with internal links. And then you also build external links. That is, you enable other websites to point to your site as a source of authority. And how do you do that? There are different ways to do it, because people won't just wake up and link to your website. You have to give the internet something to link to, right? And how do you do that? You can produce original research. So as a copywriter now, what is something the industry needs to know, but it's hard to find? I'm asking the copywriter in the room. Are you there?
I'm with you, sir.
Yeah, so as a copywriter, you have to think about, if you want to produce original research is the best way for you to gather authoritative links to your website. So one way to do it is to give the internet something to link to. And what I mean by something to link to is something original. Originality is something that everybody needs to know, but it is hard to find. So I'm asking you, what is something people need to know in copywriting, but it's hard to find? Can you think of something?
Actually, I don't know, and that's why I'm here to learn. I don't know.
No
But
problem.
just a career I'd love to start seeing.
It's all right. So, for example, people don't know how many words should a website copy have. How many words should a website copy have? People don't know. Yeah, people don't know, and maybe it's an important thing. If we know how many words a website homepage copy should have for it to actually convert, then everybody will optimize their homepage copy according to that data. But people don't know it. So this is something the industry needs to know, but it's hard to find. So if you are that person that brings that new information onto the website, boom, everybody start linking to you as a source of authority, right? So how do you produce original research? How do you write something that internet needs to know, but it's hard to find? You can do it through observation. You can extract unique data from existing sources, or you can do an aggregation. So you can combine different data sets, data from HubSpot, so you can say, okay, we analyzed 500 data from 2001 to 2011. So you can pick all the copywriting statistics from 2001 to 2023, 23 years of copywriting statistics. What are those specific statistics that are repeated? This is an original research. Or you can do a survey. How many words should an homepage copy have? There is survey 100 experts on their opinion. You are producing an original research, right? So aside from original research, you have to also do collaborative content. That is guest blogging, podcast, PR, and all those things. So collaborative content work in the sense that you are not publishing alone. You are publishing alongside people because you want to create an ecosystem on the internet, right? So, for example, this is on the right, on the left side, this is how your website is going to look like if you are publishing alone, just you and your article. But if you are doing collaborative content, can you see all the links that are coming from different people to your website? It is more fun. It's more like you are making friends on the internet. And when you do that, you are giving your website more rank signals. Today, that expertise is even an important thing in SEO. That means Google is knowing your name alongside every other people in the industry. So your professor is known alongside other people in the faculty because they work together. Your faculty is known alongside different departments in the school because they are collaborative, right? So we're almost done. So you've optimized for relevance, you've optimized for authority. The next step for you is to optimize for social proof. You know, we linked all those sites, all those pages, everything is linked back to our service page. So when someone finally finds that, the reason why we are doing that is because we want the service page to rank. When somebody comes and asks Google best copywriter in Nigeria, you want to have optimized that service page with relevance and authority. You have collected all the link you've got from your original research, you are passing the link juice to your service page. So when your service page rank, that is where you as a copywriter must now use copywriting. You must use all the copywriting techniques. You must use social proof, that is testimonials on your service page. Or if you're writing bottom of funnel content, I know most of you might not be familiar with that, but you get the idea. So when someone comes to your website, how can they trust you that you can actually deliver what they need? How can they trust you that you're a good copywriter? That's where you use social proof from your clients, from your friends, all the articles you publish on Forbes, do you understand? So you put the social proof on your service page and you have something like this. Okay. But this is distribution of original research. So if once you've produced an original research like that, you distribute it to media channels, you distribute it to data aggregators, you distribute it through guest blog. These are all the ways that you have. Can you see all the links that are coming back to this original research is making this original research an authoritative source. Then you pass that authority down to your service page. So you won't just stop there. The next step is for you to recycle and repurpose high-performing content. So if your original content blows up and it's getting like 100,000 of shares, people are saying, wow, this person has just brought a new information to the industry. You don't just leave it like that. After 3 months, you recycle it again, right? You repurpose it. You can turn that original research into a LinkedIn carousel. You can turn the original research into infographics, right? You can turn it into audiograms, or you can even host a podcast to talk about the content of that original research itself. How did you do it? What did you find? What's the most surprising thing in it? So once you do that, then you distribute the content again. So you don't just post it on blog and leave it. You take key points from the content, you distribute to your email. The things that work in your email are also going to work on your social media posts, right? So this is how you do content distribution. You can also even share your infographics. Say, hey, HubSpot, we have this original infographics. You publish a content the other day and doesn't have infographic on it. We have this infographic. Would you like to publish it? Give us links back. So these are the essential steps for you to create content marketing and SEO that work. Can you see how we have all the elements linking back to our service page? So how do you know you've developed social proof? So, okay, how do we develop social proof? I've talked about it, case studies, testimonials, and user-generated content. Then you put everything together and you remember the first image I showed you. So you have your service page in the center. You have keywords, that is, those are blog posts and everything that has keyword on it, and on-page optimization. You have your service page that is social, and then you have your original research. So this is how you do, as briefly as possible, content marketing that leads to lead generation, that leads to exciting results for you and your clients. So how do you know you've achieved all of this? Then you are going to see your domain rating is going to increase. You start getting feature snippets. Your blog articles are going to rank for their keywords. Your service page is going to rank. And when people actually come to your service page, they are going to click and become customers. So can you see the recap of everything now? I've added videos, podcasts, high-intent blogs, everything you are publishing connected back to your service page. So when people ask you, what does content marketing and SEO that works, what does it look like? Show them this image and then use the explanation I've given you to walk them through how this comes to life. So then this is how you execute. You distribute everything into your Q1. The original research you published in January, right? You upgrade it into a report. You turn it to video. You invite influencers to talk about it. You publish it to articles for media sites. So this is just like a snapshot of how you do execute SEO and content marketing that works. I think, yeah, that's all. So if anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer. Thanks.
So much. We're really grateful. So I'll be in the comments awaiting those that have questions, but our time is really fast spent. I'm sure a lot of us already have answers, especially the person that wanted clarity about how SEO content marketing works in copywriting. Now they can use it to step up their copywriting game. And I feel this execution overview is really, really clear. It's so helpful. And if it is okay by our speaker, it can let us have this slide. If it's fine by him, a lot of people might want to, later use the same slide as a reference point when they want to execute. But if it's fine by him, I believe that he would drop it with our founder. Over to our founder now. I am really grateful about Lateef's session. Sir Hostin, Peace, Solomon, thank you so much for staying tuned to the end. You joined us from the very beginning, and it was such a pleasure to have you here. And Sir Lateef did justice to SEO content writing, the breakdown, the steps. It's not just about feeding our head, our minds with theories. You broke them down into action points. And I believe that you and I would make a decision, and not just make a decision, but follow through with the decision to step up at SEO content writing. And if we've not started SEO content writing before, we can as well follow Sir Lateef on LinkedIn, Sir Lateef Maleek. Kindly follow him on LinkedIn. And before then, our speaker is still here. I want us to hand over to her. But please do not forget, follow Sir Lateef Maleek on LinkedIn, follow Margaret Etudo on LinkedIn, follow Precious Obo on LinkedIn. And so we'll be calling on our founder to teach us how to handle no's and rejections. It's not going to be a broad teachings because we are meant to close by 6 and this 10 minutes past 6, but she would be as brief as possible. So kindly stay tuned. She's going to be teaching us how to handle your no's and rejections as a freelancer. Over to you, Ma. Welcome here. Let me check if she's here. Yeah, she's here. I thought maybe network has pushed her out or something because network pushes us out often. Let me inform her that she's been called in. A lot of us know that there's no business in which no or yes. It's definitely, you have people say no countless times, you have people say yes too, but how we accept our no's is really important because rejections are capable of crippling our self-confidence, and so we can further equip ourselves, we can better equip ourselves to handle rejections, and that's why she'll be teaching us on how to handle no's and rejections as a freelancer. She's still here. We are waiting to. Okay, she's here now. Because the mic is muted, but she's not talking. Like, it's not showing that she's talking here, and we also cannot see her face. I'm sorry for the prayer that is going on in the background. I'm staying around Muslims, and they pray by this time. I don't know why the network is not wanting us to listen to the wrap up from our founder. How to handle no's and rejections as a freelancer. Since she's not here, can we all hear me? Can we hear me? If you can hear me, please just type yes, I can hear you. Because it's like my own mic too is failing. Oh, all right. All right, I think my mic is working properly now. Thank you so much. All right, I'm sure a lot of us have had experiences, possibly in the physical business or in your academics or where you are surrounded, like the people you are surrounded by. You could just, you could just be in your environment and ask a neighbor to help you pack your clothes. The neighbor will be at home, but you'll not be at home. If the neighbor says no, there's nothing you can do about it. You can't force people to do something they don't want to do. You can't force people to help you. So how then do you handle their rejections, especially in the digital marketing space? There's every possibility that you can feel demoralized, you can feel not good enough, you can feel like, most especially when you pitch your services, you tell people this is what I do, this is what I do, this is what I do, but still you keep getting no's. You say, can I just feature in your blog, or can I write a blog for you? Can I write, pieces for your blog? You reach out to these people and they keep telling you no. Some of them will even ask you to send in
your portfolio. They want to see what you've done. You send in your portfolio with so much enthusiasm and optimism. By the end of the day, they tell you that they cannot select you for the job. We can still hear our founder. Let me send her a personal message on Zoom, so she can know we're not hearing her. So, how then do we handle these rejections? First off, it's best to go back to our drawing board. This is not me teaching, because I don't know what our host planned, but I've had my own fair share of rejections as an editor, a proofreader, as a content writer. So I've had my own fair share of these things, and I can, for one, tell you some of the things that I've done that have helped me stay sane, because honestly, it's not easy to work in the digital marketing space, because there's no physical touch with the person you're addressing, with the person you're reaching out to. There's no physical touch. The person cannot see the pain, the desperation in your eyes. The person cannot see how willing you are to put in the work. The person cannot see you like physically. So there's a lot of convincing that needs to be done behind the keypads of your phone. So how then do you handle rejections? So first off, do not live in denial that you've been rejected. A lot of us will be like, oh no. It's a way of, we see it as a coping mechanism. That's the word. When our minds can't fathom a particular rejection, our minds cannot fathom why somebody said no to us or why somebody rejected our services, we would just opt for pretending that the rejection did not happen in the first place. We opt for living our lives, continuing our lives, continue building our brands like nothing like that happened. And it's honestly not a good coping mechanism to use, because you never can tell if it was your strategy as reaching out to help their brand that it's wrong, or possibly you showed too much desperation, or it may be that you did not show so much expertise, you were so timid in your pitching and approaches, maybe any of those reasons. But if you try, or if you decide to pretend that a rejection did not happen, there is no way you will be able to analyze that the things you did that did not make it work, for you to, work better on your brand, work better on yourself, to avoid such things repeating. Possibly the reason why you're experiencing rejections over and over again might be because you're using the same approach, you're using the same strategies, you're not checking if there's something you're doing wrong. Let me see if our host can take on the mic now. Yes, I think our mic is working well now. Over to you, ma'am. Ma, are you still here? Oh, okay. So it's time to end the meeting because she's not been able to join us. It is what it is. But I'm sure that you've had a lot of insight from Sir Precious on how to step up your LinkedIn game, to Miss Margaret on how to utilize the power of storytelling, to Sir Lateef on SEO content writing, and to Mrs. Iyabo, who couldn't, have her session due to network glitches and some stuff. But yeah, how do you handle rejections? Do not pretend that it did not happen. Analyze what it is. If it's your fault, make adjustments. If you check the drawing board and you see that you did everything right and nothing is wrong in your manner of approach of asking for help, or asking to be helped, or asking to help somebody, if there's nothing wrong in your approach, then you might as well just continue, but try a different approach. All right. Thank you so much for joining us, Austin, Peace, Solomon,
I want to say a big thank you to you all, and those of you that streamed on YouTube, whose name I cannot see right here from Zoom. Say a very big thank you to you. And please do not forget to drop insightful comments on what's it called? Insightful comments on the main group. I mean the main WhatsApp community. If you're in the WhatsApp community, I'm sure you joined through that medium. Share what you've learned so that those who missed the session can go through the replay. So I am sending the coaches, the last person's slide to you. I just sent it now, so you can read through it when you're less busy, or possibly just copy and paste it to read later. So that will be all for today. To inform you on the next session for DMM. That will be the 12th edition since we started. And so that will be all. Good night, everybody. Have a fantastic week. It is a earnest desire that you do not just attend the session, but that you put in all that you've attended. All that you've heard. Good night, everybody.